In this video, I want to show you quickly a alternate way to do this very last type of confidence interval that we did in our notes. So this really only works for the T intervals where you are given all of the data, but none of the summary statistics. So you don't know these X bar and S values. There is a somewhat faster way to do this rather than calculating these separately, calculating your margin of error separately, and then creating your interval. And that's by using the Descriptive Statistics option in that data analysis pack. I'm going to show you how we get this exact same result here. So I'm going to minimize this and pull up our Excel commands document. So we've got our sample data already in Excel. So this time we could go to that descriptive statistics area. So if we go to, I think I have to go over, we have to go to data. It's hard for me to find it because I am minimized a little bit, or I've got less on my screen up here. So if I go to data and then that data analysis option, we've got lots of options here. You want to choose descriptive statistics. And then you put your input values in up here in your input range, highlight those. We are using columns. Click labels in first row if that's applicable. So mine did have that. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Choose an output area. So somewhere off to the side, click on a cell for your output range. I don't like to start new worksheets. I like to just keep it on the same page. Click on summary statistics, and when you're first doing this for the first time, it'll probably start with a 95% here because that's the most common. But for us in this problem, we need to change it to a 99%. Go ahead and click on confidence level for means as well. And that's all you need to choose. Click OK, and we get this nice output here. And notice what it gives us. It gives us the mean value. This is the same X bar value that we calculated by just using the equals average command prior to this. It also tells us the other bit of information that we need, really, is the margin of error, right? That's how we build our confidence intervals. We take the sample mean plus and minus this margin of error. But when we were doing it the prior way, when we bring that back up in our notes, when we were doing it the prior way, we had to calculate the sample standard deviation and use that value in order to eventually get to this margin of error. The cool thing about descriptive statistics is that it will just tell us what this margin of error is, this 33.09 value, without having to find the sample standard deviation and go through this kind of third step. So if you notice in the output, right here is that 33.09 number. So it's the very last output. It'll say confidence level, whatever percentage you put in, and that value right there is your margin of error. So when we're doing it this way, we don't actually even have that S value, and we don't do that margin of error calculation. We just can skip straight to taking this sample mean minus this margin of error and this sample mean plus this margin of error. It skips us right to this last step. So we would still say, yes, we needed a T interval, and we would check our conditions, but instead of doing parts C and D separately, we would just use the descriptive statistics option and jump straight to here. So that is certainly an option for you to choose, and you would show me or explain to me or tell me those steps that you took on your answer keys on your scratch paper instead of telling me these things, and that would be perfectly acceptable. You just want to remember that it only works for these T intervals where you're given the data, because if you're not given the data, this descriptive statistics option isn't not an option for you. You would be back up in this area where you are still calculating these.